Hello, and welcome to a test video. This is pretty weird for me because, well, it's a capture card, and I've set it up, and it seems to work just fine, surprisingly. I thought it'd be more complex than that, but it's pretty straightforward. I literally, plugged in the side TV, and was just like, oh, it's not even working. And then I just, slightly moved on the lead. It's like, oh, it wasn't fully in. Okay, so it works perfectly fine. The way I went about it was pretty much exactly the way it was supposed to. It's just looking at the instructions is like, okay, you got, all the arrows pointing for where, which goes where, just but it doesn't really be a bit more specific than that, because there's, other leads as well. Just to connect both, it's just boggled my mind temporarily, but now I kind of understand it. There's one drawback to it though, is that it doesn't seem to allow me to actually record it with, with my mic essentially, so I'm using a separate software just to record my commentary, so it's pretty much the exact same way I went about with recording on the DVD. Very much, except I can record it on the laptop now, so just the stone didn't kill two birds, but it knocked down one, so that should be just dandy. So we're gonna play us a bit of Trinity Universe for a test video. I've played this game briefly in the past in a recording. I've played it recently, the past couple of days or so, and played through it, first time I actually cleared the game, it was just so that's the ending. That was pretty lame, that was probably the bad ending for one round. There's two different characters you can choose as from the start of the game, so I ended up going with the second one, and that one was fine and dandy, and now I'm like, okay, let's go back to the other one. I want to see the true ending thing, I think, because you've got to do some very specific things to get things, what I do on a second playthrough and all. And I don't know. So we're just going to go here. I actually did a recording, but I have to do this again because, well, actually no, don't do that. Actually, because I just remembered I'd done a recording, but it didn't work properly. You see, it recorded the footage and all that just fine and dandy, but a commentary, a no-go. It's only record the video. It's a capture card. It captures the video and all that, and the audio from the game, but your commentary, you use some other software for that shit, because it's only one audio you can use here. I don't know, maybe I just don't understand the program well enough. But we gotta stay at the end because, well, we did quite a bit of fighting and all that in the previous recording attempt. I'll heal up a bit. If you have or ever tried to play this game, you will see this character as the Navi of this game. Seriously, in the start of the game, you get put through tutorial hell. And the funny thing is, they throw so much tutorials at you that by the time they finished explaining, you realize, hey, it didn't take in half of what they were trying to say, and some of it wasn't even worded properly. So I'm just kinda that's weird. So I've defeated the one here. This is the one I actually did in the previous recording. But I haven't defeated that one yet? Huh. Well, let's up it up a bit then. Level 31. My team isn't even really that much different to that level, and the lurkers in the area that showed defeat on the previous one but undefeated on this one, shadows appear after a certain amount of time's passed. And they are 20, 30, 40, I don't even know how many levels higher than the monsters in the dungeon, so all levels 39, 38, 37, 40, and then if for some reason I was level grinding a place like this with the other characters, level 23, 16, 15, and 14, and that Shadow shows up and we don't get enough time to respond, we'd get engaged in battle, and if he decides to do an all-range attack, we'd be screwed. It's happened to me in the past. But we wouldn't be so screwed with these four, but we will be screwed when we inevitably encounter him. So, for this testing, let's also try show a few things about this game that is monotonous, but I also consider maybe helping it because it's the origin of that obnoxious level up issue that I kept doing in those recordings like Pokemon Coliseum and all that. You'll see what I mean once they start leveling up, because it happens all the time. Like at the end of the game, I was like level 105. It goes beyond the 99 limit or 100 limit or anything like that. It's ridiculous. Didn't I just say I was going to try explaining a few things about the game, or did I not say it? Because I'm totally not doing that right now, am I? I can't be asked. Maybe wondering how this pops up here. Well, to do that, you press R1 before their AP thing, the numbers going down in the background go down. If you press R1 before it ends, you will go into this mode, and if you do enough attacks before that, you will get a bit of green where you can have little combos. You see those dots there going around and circular bits? If you can get 2 of those filled, you can use a special attack by pressing R3 by pressing the right analog stick down, and it gives you an option to either use a better healing technique by holding down circle, or you can just press square and use a special attack. So yeah. That wasn't quite the level up I was expecting there, but you'll see what I mean when some of the characters will start saying it, because some of the other characters have this certain way of saying it that kind of just gets stuck in your head. The more you play this game, the more you'll just find yourself randomly in your head and be like, level up this year. So many levels. And yet the game still kicks your ass in various parts. Although honestly, I've had no trouble with the actual in-game bosses that aren't lurkers, because they're the optional ones, they'll kick your ass. But I suppose it's because I level up so much that it doesn't really seem all that effective. Yeah, I was wondering which combo did that. Something I just figured out on the spot there, I forgot how I did that. I knew he had a way of stacking 2 combos, but I couldn't remember how the hell I did it. Trinity should be able to use that, right? Yep. So if you see that green and you're able to hit it, you will get a little combo like this. Does a bit more hits, a little bit of extra damage. If you do it 4 times with all 4 characters, you'll get an even longer one, which does a lot more. But you can rarely do it on your first turn unless you've got enough AP points, which require having the proper equipment and levels for it. Otherwise you press R1, waste a turn, and it builds up. But you get a lot more attacks. There's one of them at least. I don't know. It just gets stuck in your head. They talk all the time. Battles, outside of battles, they just ramble on, and I don't even know what they're saying half the time because I don't speak Japanese. I mean, I know a bit of Japanese. I know that level up in this is probably just as it is, isn't it? Level up! Or whatever. But they'll just randomly just ramble on. It's just like, I can't understand a word they're saying. Well, turn the English version on. I can't be honest. I just go with the Japanese version. They're only really translated during cutscenes, and even then, it's pretty obvious that it's from the English voice actors. One, because some of the lines don't really match with, well, what they're saying. I don't even need to understand Japanese to realize that. It's like you'll have, long dialogue, and you'll just be like, they totally did not say that in that span of time. There it is. Level up this here. So yeah, I played this game before in a video, but yeah, this is the origin of that obnoxious level up that I kept doing in some LPs. So I hope it will help you by having it stuck in your head completely all day, most likely. I don't know how that would help you, but it's there. Also, I'm now wondering, what the hell am I doing? I know it's a test video, but I had something I was gonna do. Fight the lurker thing, take care of these assholes and all. Like, actually have a little bit of a purpose to it, other than just being a test and somewhat update video that I'm not even using as an update video currently. I'm still technically on break. Take him! No, he's got quite a bit of HP. Fair enough. This is quite different to any other RPG I've ever played, honestly. I mean, it's not the usual kind of turn-based. It's turn-based, but it's not the usual thing. You see the green there? Sometimes it's unpredictable when it's going to show up. So you either don't hit fast enough or you hit too fast. It's really annoying like that. It's like you'll be doing really good combos, and suddenly you screw that up, and then just like, oh, we're about to reach 500. But no. So I might as well do this, press square. I haven't actually been to this location before, well, in this playthrough. See these? That one leads to treasure. I think the blue one also leads to some kind of treasure. The red one leads to a monster spawner. Once you clear the monsters out of that, they'll stop attacking you for a while. Makes them much easier to get around without random encounters every couple of steps. So which way is that? That's down here. Yeah, lovely. I can't understand a word you're saying. 12 minutes of rambling. It's like we're playing The Sims 2 again. Okay, these guys aren't gonna go down with that strategy. Fair enough. Man, the lurker in this place is gonna kick my ass then by the looks of it. I'm having trouble just taking down the ordinary ones. You know, it may take a while to knock down some of these guys, but sometimes, like, once you're like trying to get loads of hits and like combos going on, because there are trophies you get like in PS3, like if you get like say 500 hits damage, well, it's not the damage, it's for all, and you just do this, by the way, remember the R3 thing? Might as well show it, since we can. Does a little special attack like that, adds more hits and total damage. Because there are trophies you get, like if you hit 500, and I've never been able to because the enemy is either knocked out by that point, or I haven't built up enough of these type of attacks to actually spam them to add a shit ton more. But usually it comes down to the enemy just not being able to withstand quite as much a beating for that long. Even boss fights go down in one turn. It's quite ridiculous how overpowered you can get so easily, because you level up so often. But at the same time, there's still cases where like you'd be like, oh yeah, nothing can stop me, I'm overpowered, and then a lurker comes along and ruins your day. Luckily, when they defeat you, it isn't a game over like it would be in other cases. Same with losing in a random battle here, really. We'd just be like told that you almost drifted off into the universe. Good thing, lucky we found you this time instead of a game over. You only get game overs if you lose to a plot-related villain. Well, for all of that, there's only really one villain in this game, really. Most of the battles you have are against the other protagonist's team. That and various different, well, your teammates that you get along the way usually end up battling them before they join. Classic RPG way of making friends, isn't it? Beat the crap out of them and they will join forces with you. I forgot what the hell I was doing. Ah yes. Just typical, isn't it? So you press square and you follow the lines, you get to the lines. This is the monster spawner. Defeat enough enemies, it'll disappear, and so will the enemies temporarily, so you can wander around to your heart's content, looking for treasure and waiting for it to respawn, which usually takes about as long as it takes for the lurker to show up, so it's pretty useless in that way, I suppose, but it gives you extra points for when you exit the place, and it's much quicker to actually get random encounters than simply wandering around. Which is pretty frequent random encounters anyway, so I don't know. Not good enough! Will this one be? Yeah, this one's much better. I don't care how these attacks are working. Are they like shooting beams at them? You see what I mean? How many level episodes have there been in just one recording here? Add to the one before it is... Well, I don't know how much you leveled up by, honestly. You kind of lose track, really. You level up so often you don't pay attention. If I do LP this game, I should totally do that. Like a level up counter. Take this and this and this and this and this and of course I said, and of course this, and one is still standing. I don't know, man, it's weird. You can't, well, I can't understand what they're saying half the time, but it gets stuck in your head anyway. It's kind of like, Robert Lubica! You don't know what the hell it means, but it gets stuck in your head anyway. Man, it's kind of boring to use the same strategy, but it's the quickest way to go about it. I think so. But it's probably better to just attack them one by one, because then it can do much higher powered attacks. But it still feel like it'd take a long time regardless sometimes. Even though there was that one again. Seriously, it gets stuck in your head, man! Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm getting all subject and distracted. There's so many level uppers going on. That I haven't really... Well, actually I did record the other day, but that was for the other channel. It's been quite a while since I've actually last played a game. And, you know, commented over it, because Persona 4 was the last one that... Now that's completed, and the editing for it, like the video itself, was recorded, I think, mid-January. It's now, like, early February, and it's just like, it's been a while. But how will the capture card fare compared to the old and more analog and complicated for no particular reason? Well, not really complicated, really. It's more a pain in the ass to edit for DVD recording way I went about these type of recordings. It's much easier when it's on a laptop. I'm not even looking at the laptop as I'm recording. I mean, I know the screen is there, but I prefer to look at the TV to play the game. Now with these glasses and all, it's much easier to see. but it's actually tougher to see on a laptop because I haven't gone in full screen mode. So now they'll leave you alone as long as that thing's in the corner, and we'll just wait around for the lurker to show up while looking for random shit to pick up. Oh, he's already here. Sometimes he'll ambush you straight away, sometimes he takes his time like this, for example. Sometimes he'd like be on our ass right away. It's usually when I don't want to battle him. Take your time, sir, take your time. I'll just stand here, pose all day. It's a photo shoot. Just stretch my neck a little here and there. If you could just, like, get on with it, sir. It's supposed to attack us now, sir. Did you not read the script, sir? You can literally stand around here and wait for them to literally get in your face and just be like, okay, now I'm actually going to attack you. Stop stalking me and attack me, you son of a bitch, come on! I've literally just casually done this many times, and he did it! He actually did it, I was about to mention that, just like, I was casually walking like, I need to disappear. He shows up, he doesn't attack you. He's supposed to attack you after, like, looking at you for a few seconds. Sometimes he does it right away, sometimes it takes his time, sometimes not at all. It's like, god damn it, make up your mind. He appears not too long after it, though, so it shouldn't take too long for him to come back. I hope so, anyway. Come on, Mr. Lurker guy. Some of them even have voice actors. But this one doesn't appear to be one of those. Taking his time. So yeah, you might be wondering what the hell this game is all about. It does have a plot, but it's kind of all over the place, and the characters like to break the fourth wall a lot and even mention that a lot of times. Like, this plot's going nowhere, dude. Of course, it doesn't say it like that, because it's not the English voice acting version. That the translation was obviously basically supposed to be. Because I can't imagine that the Japanese voice actor is actually saying dude. Come on, Mr. Shadow, come on. Come on! Come on, Mr. Black Cloud. You gonna rain? Goddamn. If I had a watch on, I'd be looking at it right now. I could just be looking at the time in general. I mean, it's on the laptop for crying out loud. Come on! There we go. 23 minutes. I wonder how the syncing up of the audio is going to be. So they look like random enemies, but they're a lot tougher. I mean, look how much damage that did. They're on a whole other level to the random encounters. They will kick your ass if you're not careful. But I like to waste the turns so that they build up AP points, but it can be rather risque as well. As long as it doesn't do a full attack with hitting everyone, because that usually knocks us down. Wait, oh, I have fought you before then. It carries on damage from previous encounters, even if you lose, apparently. I didn't know that. I knew that you could, like, battle them, escape, re-encounter them, and they'd have the same amount of damage you did the last time you encountered them. That's pretty useful, I suppose. Just be like, hit and run, yo! And just run away. That's a coward's way of fighting. Only run away if there is no other option. Like the option, like, would be like, okay, you either run or you die, pretty much. You don't get a game over, though, surprisingly. You don't get a game over if you lose in a kind of battle against story-relevant characters. Well, they're story-relevant or not, I don't know, and I missed that one again! Because this game doesn't have much of a plot. Take this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that and this. And heal. Of course you can see the circle there, that's how you use these abilities. Now, if it had any events currently in the game at this point in time, I would show them just to show how random they could be, but currently not none of those right now. Yeah, this game gets pretty repetitive, understandably so. Freeze! If you get all four of them in, they do a much fuller and much longer attack in general, really. Have like a special kind of attack to it, but unfortunately we weren't able to do that. We could have, but I missed the green line thing when it was Dag's turn, so that sucks. Special attack! Now I thought this boss was gonna kick my ass, but apparently not. That's mostly to do with the fact it didn't knock out any of my teammates in the first round, I guess. Still could potentially kick our asses, I mean it isn't dead yet. Usually they survive by just like the tiniest amount of damage with these kind of combos, it's ridiculous. But we got it. It, her, whatever it is. So, where's the exit? This way. That's a wrap. This took less amount of time than the previous one. I think I was about to be interrupted there. So, let's just exit. You exit dungeons and you get points, as you can see quite a few points here and there, because it carries on from my other playthroughs. My third playthrough here is just like Persona 4 all over again, 3 times playing the same game. Well, in this case, at least I'm not recording for it. That's what wore me out more than anything. I mean, damn. This one, I'm just like all at my own pace, just like play, just like I'll just play something else in the background, have all the music play because the soundtrack gets a bit repetitive after a while. So you get all these different objects to come in like, and they just have a look at them also. So you got random things like this. Some of them are just there, just to be there, honestly. Some of them contain shops, some of them have events that are attached to them. Like that one had one, but I forget which one it was. I think that's a shop. Yeah, that's just a lumpy milk, that's just a candy, that's just donuts, that's just a shortcake. I think that's just an eraser. I'm not sure which one of these actually have events, because I haven't actually seen them all. So yeah, no events. How unfortunate we don't get to see the randomness of the characters' interactions in this almost plotless random game. So yeah, that was a test with Trinity Universe, and on to the update part of things. I haven't done any recording from all 3 or the Project Diva F yet. But I have like got things planned in advance for the Project Diva F1, because I want to add a bit more to it. I mean, it's a rhythm game. What can you do with a rhythm game other than just simply play it? There's not much I can comment on. I mean, I'd be concentrating most of the time trying not to screw up. So like, that's gonna be Mr. Squash's turn to come in, with post-commentary for that. And like, I want to draw like random images, various different expressions for Mr. Squash. And like, I've even wrote it, well, I can even call it that, it was mostly improvised on the guitar, and just wrote down some random silly lyrics, and made a song for Mr. Squash, and made a music video for him that I'll have at the end of that LP. But I haven't got to work on the LP itself yet. And have maybe some other random stuff in between in it as well, just add variety, even add in some of my own random little pieces I come up with on the keyboard, just like blah 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 blah, you win, and things like that. Just more ideas for that than the level 3 LP, because I haven't actually got around to recording for that, and haven't really thought much of it in general. But when I get around to recording for it, once I feel, as I said before, I've got enough recorded, I shall return to the regular schedule, which wouldn't be the regular schedule, because it'd be the same as my other channel, which would be an upload every 2 days or so. Kind of balance it out, because an upload a day, pretty much, well, how many years I've been doing this, it's really taken its toll. Need to cut back on it a bit, slow it down, and like, get more in advance, make it much easier and smooth. So yeah, when it gets around to that, I'll put together a trailer for it, and yeah, the LPs would be right around the corner for uploading then, once I've got it all in order and all that. Just try to balance it out. I really like the guitar solo in the song, so much so in fact that I end up unintentionally playing on my guitar, just like, hey, isn't that one song? Just like, well, it is the same scale, just like, how did I figure out the scale? I don't have quite as good a ear I'm playing for that. It's just random how that works. You listen to something enough times, it just comes to you instinctively. But anyway, I'm rambling as I always do. So, that was a test of the capture card. Much easier to record for, but still a bit awkward because I'm not quite used to it yet. But that's that, so, see ya. Okie dokie, time for an update. This is working, right? Yep, seems to be. It's been a while since I've done any recording. It's the 17th of February today. The recording that I am going to attach this to with the capture card test. I can't remember the exact date when I recorded that, but it was early February. And that was the last time I actually did any actual recording, because even my other channel had been like, nope. If you pay attention to the other channel, the other week one of our dogs died, and understandably so, I've not been in the mood to do any recording since. And I've just kind of lately just been kind of a daze. And I've actually got my guitar here, because it supplies some background soundtrack for it. So, actually it's kind of difficult to talk while playing guitar, although sometimes it comes quite naturally. I don't think it's even fully in tune, because I had to tune this by ear just a few moments ago. Pain in the ass, can't find a damn electric guitar tuner. So yeah, still on break and all that, and depression kind of set in after that. It's been more or less creeping up in the past few weeks, more or less really for me. Like in the recording that I did was before the dog had died, so I was able to actually get some recording done there, but you could tell by the commentary style that I wasn't quite 100% feeling up to it, kind of felt dazed. Been more or less like that since, well, late January, and still haven't quite got into that mood again to do recording the way I usually would. Getting kind of sidetracked with the guitar here as well, aren't I? So, I haven't done any recording for the upcoming LPs, because, one thing, I've got like these drawings I did of Mr. Squash that I want to edit on my laptop to like add color into it properly. It's weird, really. I mean, I drew like various different facial expressions for him. It took maybe an hour at most. Editing them, it takes a freaking day or two just to get one of them fully colored in. It's ridiculous. Because I'm trying to give it more of a computer kind of art style, you know, that professional stuff where it's just like the color looks perfect. It's not really got that pencil drawn in look that I usually do, because, well, that's how I draw. So yeah, that's kind of also holding up, as well as, you know, the whole dog dying and just being kind of depressed as of late. But the idea is still there. It's just Mother 3, for example. I haven't really thought of that one at all. the Project Diva one, I've actually made a random music video in preparation for the end of that LP when it gets around to it. So I've got the end of that LP and the start of it sorted out. Like, I've got an intro that I made for it, which is literally 2 seconds long, that I'll show at the end of this recording. And that's about it, really. I think in the next few days I might get back to recording on the old channel, and maybe then, after I've completed those damn drawings, I can finally get around to recording for the Project Diva one, but I'm unsure about the Model 3 one, because I'm not sure if I'm really in the mood overall to actually even bother LPing that. So I'm not sure if I might switch it around with a different game for that one, or if I will LP that one. We'll just see how my mood goes over time for that, I suppose. Kind of been more or less drawn more towards music, as you'd probably imagined, lately, rather than, you know, my usual recordings. Like, loads of ideas for songs and things like that, just generally playing music. I think that was kind of like inspired after last year with like my ventures into music, like such things as the Sleeping Priestess thing that I did. So it's just like things like that. It just like made me think, hey, if I really put my mind to it, I could potentially make music. Then there was the whole, yeah, this is definitely not fully in tune. You know, the Robert Lubica Hallelujah kind of thing. And then there was also the guitar work that I did on the New Year thing. I was really quite proud of that. The piano, the guitar, all of it just sounded nice. And it's literally the only solo that I've ever wrote that I can actually play accurately without screwing up. That one with the Final Fantasy part that went. I say that, but I screwed up anyway. It's an alright solo, I guess. The only one that I've wrote that I can actually play, probably because I have a habit of tabbing out it solo in a way where it's just like, it's simple at first and then it gets confusing. It's not overly complex, it's just really hard for me to actually play it accurately. So yeah, I've been kind of more drawn to like, I want to do more with music lately. Get carried away again. Also, I got guitar lessons behind the scenes as well, so now I like know more about things like music theory and things like that. Like, I've always been curious about whenever I see stuff like this in a song. Same exact note like that. Same note. Finally learnt basic music theory, so that's nice. And modes like, which one was it again? Well, I'm rambling on, but let's stay on focus. So yeah, more or less been pretty depressed, unmotivated, but I have been doing some more positive things as well, like the guitar lessons, quite nice. See a therapist nowadays, cause, well, the anxiety, depression is just like, it's better to actually, you know, do something about it rather than just keep it all pent up, I suppose. So that's a positive thing as well, and I've actually started going to the gym as well, which is something I'd never done in my life, and it's quite an interesting experience. Some things never change. That door still opens during my recordings, and almost only during my recordings. So yeah, back to the LP thing. Like I said, I got plans for the Project Diva F1. I got that planned out. I'll play every song on every difficulty. Well, try to anyway. I can clear all songs on easy, normal, and hard, but there are a few songs on expert mode that I just can't get through. You need Kenshiro-like fingers for that, it's ridiculous. But who knows, if my mood starts to pick up eventually again, then maybe I'll also get around to recording for Mother 3, but currently all I can think of is Project Diva F being the only one that I can imagine myself recording for. Also, back to the capture card, which I haven't even brought up in this entire thing here. The quality on it's kind of meh. It doesn't seem to allow me to use Camtasia to record it, because it has a separate recording thing with it as well. So that's kind of not as great as planned, but it's much easier, so hopefully it'll look better with the Project Diva F1, because it'd be much easier to record for. Although I still have to use Audacity to record the commentary, which is still a bit of a pain in the ass. But it's less of a pain in the ass because I don't have to record him multiple times. You know, on another subject, I've played my guitar a number of times in these videos, and one thing I've learned from since having guitar lessons is this. I remember one part in the Sims 2 LP when I picked up my guitar and was just like, it's definitely out of tune, but you get the general idea. Apparently they're ninth chords, I never knew that. But then, I think my first time I'd ever came across a chord like that was from Silent Hill 2. And then another one where I was randomly playing it one day, and I think it's that one song from Fragile Dreams that goes. I think that's also ninth chords, so I seem to favor ninth chords, it seems. Heck, even one song that I'd put together also had a C9 chord, and I didn't realize that either. Something like that, you know? Well, anyway, I'm rambling on quite a bit, and this guitar really pisses me off with it going out of tune and not knowing where the guitar tuner is. I don't like trying to tune it, because, well, I'm pretty sure it's either B, E, or G. And if it's E, that's worse than anything, because that's the string that always snaps anytime I try to tune it. Well, let's actually check. Now, my ear's not good enough to recognize it quite yet. That's what I want to do, man. I want to be able to recognize this exact notes so that not only would it help with learning by ear, but it also helped me with damn tuning this thing. Wait, I could also try this. Now that's in tune. Has a bit of a horror sound to it. Well, then again, it is kind of going through the notes, like, one by one. I've noticed on the keyboard. Another thing I've noticed about guitar is it really is based on the keys on the keyboard. Like, if you go to the white notes, black notes, just going back and forth, it really does sound like that. And so on and so on. But anyway, so in short, still on break, maybe finally get to recording for the other channel again at some point in the next few days. But as for, like, the behind the scenes on what's going on with the recordings for the main channel here, still up in the air on that. Still need to finish off those damn drawings. And once that's done, maybe get around to recording for that. And if I finally get in the mood for it, maybe mull free, or maybe I'd throw on a different LP. But anyways, that's a bit of an update. And just anytime I hit the record button, I just like don't know how to, well, I know how to finish it. It's just when I've got my guitar, I'm just tempted to just randomly play stuff that I'd come across. Like I randomly came across the which one would it be? Silent Hill 1 or 2 it's from, I can't really remember, but it kind of goes. Something like that. Just kind of. What also amazed me is this. There I go again. That's a track from Canon, and I remember playing that years ago by ear, and I actually recently checked the MIDI file because now I can compare the notes on the guitar to the notes on a piano, and I noticed it's the exact same notes. It's like spot on. The only thing is this. Is not actually in the correct key of the song from Clannad, Dango Daikazaku, but it's pretty much the same melody, so it's something at least. I can play a bit by ear. It just takes, actually thinking. Like, I remember I was playing, I'm rambling on about this, man. It's like, I forget what mode it's called. Is it Ionian or something like that? And I noticed something about these particular bits here. And then I randomly went. And then I was like, let's try to play that. And within seconds, literally just like, the notes came to me instantly. Sort of. The first bit there, kind of a pain in the ass for me to memorize it, but it's there. Just like all I need to do is have the melody in my mind and I can do it. But I've rambled on long enough here, so one last little bit of soloing. That was a bit random. Yeah, it was a bit of a Yngwie Malmsteen and Richie Blackmore feel to it. I'm pretty sure that is in the, I think, a bit of the Egyptian scale or something like that. I don't really know because I haven't actually learned that. It's just something I came by randomly playing the guitar. It's strange the things you can just come up with just by playing guitar, just random notes. But anyways, I will end this video with a random little 2-second opening for the Prodigy Diva FLP, and also, God also remembered to mention that this video will have like maybe 2 random images, like have them as trailer kind of artwork or something. I don't know, because in the game you can actually like put pictures in the background and like you can have Vocaloids just kind of pose on them and all that. And I like had one for Echo the Dolphin and Mr. Squash. Those be like preview images. But anyways, on with that. I shall see you when I get around to helping that, I guess.